It is the big picture. The old. This is the story of a sojourner. Everything captured on his so-called journal. At birth, we were given names. Names too heavy for a child to carry. Mother looked at me and called me Chi-Zo-Ba. She held my fragile hands and called me Odi Naka. She even said grace in her name because she was looking for a God to believe in. And so she knelt before my rickety bed and cried, Ozo, Ozo, Ozemena. So after a period of donkey years, I stood strongly like the statue of Jesus in Brazil. While I looked at the ruins from the hanging gardens of Babylon, I knew at once that our world has transited from a region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration. You would say I did my osmosis very well, but it has got nothing to do with that. Rather, it has got everything to do with the inexplicable law of diffusion. So I was hungry in Hungary because they fed me Indomie and geisha in Indonesia. I spent in Spain. I was treated like a child in Chad. I wasn't made whole in Holland. So I was neither here or there in Netherlands. I gambled in Gambia and gathered nothing in Ghana. I became too poor in Portugal. Even though I tried to marry in Malaysia, I was seen alone in Sierra Leone. I saw hate in Haiti. So I couldn't eat in Italy. Rather, they called me E.T. and added Boribo in Bulgaria. I lost my zeal in Brazil because I prayed to my chief in Chile and in China. But I was brutalized in Burundi. Yes, they gave me a scar and made me mad in Madagascar. And so while I was roaming across the streets of Rome, I was marked in Denmark. And there was no way in nowhere. Finally, before I take a bow, may I remind you that in this age of social media, we are no longer in the bingo generation. The patient dog eats no bone. Of course, the dog I know at Akwakuma died 2 years ago. 2 years years ago, I got to know that our word has transited. Silence is no longer golden when the truth has to be spoken without fear of grammatical blunder or misguided feelings. I have found my voice to say that sorrow is not okay. So it's okay to sorrow. It's okay in this generation. Listen, guys. The journey of 1,000 steps no longer begins with a step. It begins with vision. Whoever told us that with slow and steady we would win the race didn't tell us the whole truth the whole time. Because with speed and accuracy, we will win the race. In the words of my brother and mentor, Aja Asel, the great commando of Silicon Africa, he said, man now has 3 social needs: food, clothing, and data. If this life is a pool, we must surely hit 3 draws. The big picture. smfest. The big picture. And let the story begin.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Seems like nobody's hearing me. Can you please lower the music a bit? I'm always excited to be back here in Nigeria. Well, I'm not here to talk about my journey in Kenya or South Africa. No. I'm here to talk about something more interesting. I have a story I want to tell you. Well, this story, for over 15 years, I've had a story. But you know what? Each time I read the story, my mama will say, don't worry. Very soon, everybody will hear your story, but everybody is just a dining table. Just my daddy, my sister, and my other sister that doesn't even understand what I'm saying. So the word was just like that. And I have a script I want to share to every Nigerian friends, but now it's not here because there was no social media. So I'm sorry, I would have to go back to Kenya with my story because this post office, they don't deliver. Oh.
Hello, Miss Camilla.
Pronounce my name correctly, it's Camilla.
Camilla.
Thank you. Oh, my script just arrived.
Thank you, ma'am.
So my script just arrived. I have a beautiful story to tell you all. You want to see the big picture. How many of you want to see the big picture? All right.
Tessa.
I will tell you a story. The story of lovers.
Zukwanike, Ogini. Women have 2 powers: cosmetics and tears. Swaying their hips side by side, snatching our attention without our consent. So for this reason, many are in disarray, others are in dismay. Sorry. Dismay.
Well, in those days, to have mastery of grammar could award you the position of a professor. In our local village, they will call you master or a professor. This young lover boy limited his rage when he discovered that who he has bumped into was a master. I mean, he was a professor. This professor's excellence of speech could provide him scripts that could screen his heart to words on paper.
Professor. Professor. Professor, make me become the confessor to confess my love to my lover.
Love is the feeling you feel you are feeling when you feel that feeling you feel you've never felt before.
Confessor. Professor. Professor, please. Pardon?
So tell her, as you write her this letter, she should not read it later. Tell her that it will be better she knows that you are already bitter. Tell her it is your podcast on this broadcast just for her forecast. Now tell her love is the feeling you feel you are feeling when you feel that feeling you feel you've never felt before. Tell her that even if her father calls you counterfeit, you would still counterfeit. Tell her that even if her father takes her to go gutter, you will go to the gutter just to go get her. Tell her you would become her go-getter. Tell her she is the song in your head. Tell her by her hips you are led. Tell her everything follows suit, including your legs. Tell her she's the lyrics in your song. Tell her that she is like a queen on a chessboard. Even if you pay to play in her station, you won't get bored. Now call her Aisha. Aisha. Call her Aisha.
Aisha.
Tell her Aisha, I shall be the mirror you look. Tell her I shall read you like a book. Tell her I shall serve you like I'm your cook. Tell her, Aisha, I shall be your criminal as if I'm your crook.
Be
Crook,
your criminal as if
you are her crook.
you are her crook. I am her crook. I got that.
Aisha found your fountain like I'm your brook. See, tell her that River Nile is a shallow pool compared to the depths of your love for her. Tell her that the sort of love you burn for her can leave the sun in ashes. Yes, tell her all these and many more.
Did I tell you? Did I tell you that in those days, love letters were the best letters written? And these letters are best expressed when you read them under the mango tree. So this young lover would send his love letter to the post office to get it to Aisha. Because in those days, there was no social media. Post office in those days were closer to heaven.
Tessa. Please, young man, post this letter in your post office without adding any suffix or preface to fix this letter.
Yes, sir.
For the contents of these letters are from the well of love. Listen. She is the miss I will never want to miss. You get it now. For I cherish her till I perish.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I promised my own eyes see the contents of this letter. I also promise not to let the raindrops kiss its pages.
Thank you.
Sir, I promise not to fix this letter with a suffix nor a prefix. Rather, to fix it into our hands.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Here is Aisha. Aisha
Yes, sir.
is a beautiful, fair, tall lady. Her smile shines like the morning sun. I can see the smile in my audience faces too. It looks so familiar because we are products of love letters read under the mango trees. This love letter was not just any kind of letter. It was written by her lover boy and well articulated by a professor. Whenever her cheeks grow so wide, it is either this poet had used a simile or an hyperbole to hype the tiny balls in her eyes and has placed her to sit on the bed of roses of fantasies. Just after the dance, there was another letter. A letter that had a different tone. This letter sadly came with an aura that had no scent. I'm saying that Anit Aisha just got a scholarship to study in Ghana. This opportunity came crushing her loved and placed on her palms promises that I am here to make you and not to break you. Aisha, you have to leave now. The driver is already down waiting for you. And silence oftentimes doesn't mean yes, but sends the signal of silence. The barrier of communication had not just affected our love lives, but in those days, it also affected our businesses. It took me 5 months to get my script. And I told you before, I read this thing over and over again. My mother would say, don't worry, very soon you will tell the world about it. But it was just the 4 walls of our room that was always hearing my story. Well, what then is the big picture?
So this is the new world order, where social media is power, social media is strength. Social media is everything and anything you can ever think of. So whichever platform you choose to connect with your friends, just know that you have the world available listening. Whether you decide to tick your talk on Facebook or link your videos and friends up on Instagram, you don't need to sweat so much on traffic, because with the app on your phone, you could actually book your food, order your Uber, you can actually run your errands and as well as sell your products. So they asked me, is this the same media that have changed the meaning of things in a 21st century where an ugly girl is called a pretty damsel? Comments are so cute. Our fools are not half done. Isn't that the same media that has made our youth jobless, our markets contactless? Isn't that the same that has rendered our wives fearless, husbands truthless? This is the same that has made feelings so heartless. Everything has become so less of itself. So I answered and said to them, I am a social media influencer. I give value. I connect to the world. I am a bridge, bridging the inconveniences in the 21st century. My timelines are timeless, and my news feeds are well fed. In fact, affiliate marketing is selling smoothly.
Hello. Let me stop you there. See, social media is the new age. The big picture that captures diverse cultures. Like magnet, it brings the world closer to you and I. Without roaming in the streets of Rome, I can still see the Pope in a lovely robe. See, there, with social media, I can journey to India at a single spot. Sports, flashy sports cars, frosty trees, dancing seas instantly on Instagram. I don't need to cram my lines, but store them on my email or my Gmail, my guy's mail. I trail trailers of movies and even smfest on Facebook, despite I hardly face my book. But you can still book us on WhatsApp by saying what's up, and we tell you X up by giving you a thumbs up, and then we are good to go. Even on to go, we can still chat like we chat on WeChat, like greedy men. Sorry, we don't do Hangout, for we can still talk on Hangout, hold physical meetings in our room with Zoom, and before the clock could tick tock, our beautiful ladies post their videos on TikTok. Our beautiful ladies post their videos on TikTok, and we talk of businesses on Google Meet, where we actually meet like when lovers meet. Okay, like when lovers meet. What about Aja Excel and his wife? He tweets her on Twitter and journey to her with both, to both her heart with love like the king of art in Z-World, Telemundo. Oga boss, tell Mr. Mundus that Owerri Bole will seen by the world through social media. Please, no bad comments. I can even go to the gym with my bike and post for Jim Ike to see me online. Despite he doesn't have my line lined up in his contact to contact me, but he can still like my videos on Likey from a bar in Lekki, while chatting, chilling, and feeling my vibes on a low key through social media. So share social media. For me, there. It is a ground where lovers meet. Businesses grow in rows without moving to and fro to advertise your merchandise. You rise by showcasing your talent, no relent, moving from coast to coast, even down to the coast of Costa Rica to obtain fame through social media. So share social media. For me, there. It is a ground where we connect through messenger without sending a messenger from local Jordan to Azerbaijan and then from Poland, Holland, just to reach Mr. Roland. And even at a single spot, Mr. Israel can spot Israel through social media. So share social media, for it is the ground. Feel the trends, friends, fun with no end. From Sundays to weekends, we socialize on this social ground. Social media, the home of laughter and emojis. For my G's, oh my G's, you mean I can relate to my longtime G's mate? That was what Grandma said, through social media. For it is the big picture that captures the world's diverse cultures. And we are the microphonists.
Wow, 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 amazing, eh? Everybody standing up.